Well,
I want platinum standard. I want GOAT. I want GOAT making GOAT noises in the booth.
Well, you're getting GOAT, and you're getting GOAT who's going to be able to shed knowledge and things and little tricks.
We'll see.
I know, but I do think he's going to be able to give you details and shed, information and little nuances that, a lot won't be able to. I do think he'll be able to converse it and talk it the right way. Hey, the going out on a limb or saying something controversial, I'm sure that's going to be a struggle at first. That's a struggle for all ex-players, finding that little spot of.
He can get away with it though.
He can. He should be able to get away with anything.
Who's going to call Tom Brady and complain? Who's going to call Tom Brady and complain?
Yeah,
because it's not like any of them can say, I'm better than you were. Who's really going to have grounds to complain if Tom Brady calls him out? Yeah, so he's in an interesting and unique position here, Chris.
No, I don't know, but again, it's that can go down anyways. I'm sure Troy Aikman's had to take a few calls from guys that didn't win 3 Super Bowls, and they were like, "What the hell? Why are you saying this about me?" Or who else? So again, that just comes with part of the territory. But with Brady here, I mean, again, I just think he's gone global. That's to me where, again, I love Troy Aikman, one of my favorites ever. Peyton Manning, not sure. Yeah, I would say in his prime. I don't know if I ever saw a quarterback better in their prime than Peyton Manning. I mean, it was amazing what we saw all the time. But at the same time, it's not Tom Brady and where he's at right now. I mean, Brady has gone global. We're going to Germany this year, and guess who's going to be there playing? Brady. That's where he's gone. So, to me, he's hit a different stratosphere here. I was even shocked that he would even be involved in this conversation to be on TV. But obviously, with a deal like this, you listen, and he probably just said, damn, this is too good to turn down. I'm going to have to do this.
Drew Lock's going global, too. You didn't mention Drew Lock going global.
Is he going global?
Geno Smith's going global. Seattle's going to Germany.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons I'm doing this, I'll be not that he's ever going to hear this, not that it's ever going to pop up on social media, but I'm trying to. I want him to be the guy we've never seen. I want him to be the guy who will call out.
Yeah, I know.
And get into it.
Yeah.
Get into it. A quarterback has a bad game. Quarterback makes a bad throw. There's a way to do it. There's a way to do it tactfully. And I think you hold the guys who are getting the most money to a higher standard, or a guy who's trying to get a big contract. Hey, if so-and-so really wants to be paid $60 million a year, you can't be making those throws. You can't be making those decisions. Got to be a little calmer in the pocket there. You can't just bail out that fast. Look, pull up the telestrator. Look, he had a tight end who chipped the defensive end and then did a little delayed route across the middle, and that wasn't improvised. That's in their play. That's in there. I've seen him in practice, but whatever. He's in a position where he can become a John Madden type of a figure in a different way with what he can do by way of raw, honest assessment of what he's seeing and make the game more accessible and more understandable. Not the easy, simple parts, but the more nuanced parts. It's not easy when you got, a 30-second soundbite.
Right.
At most before the next play. But look, it is too much money to say no to, but there's no guarantee that he's going to be any good, and he's got plenty of time to get himself ready for it. And it's gonna be fascinating that first Sunday of the first season when he finally is retired from the NFL and takes this job. There's no guarantee it's 2023. It could be 24. It could be 25. It's whenever he's done playing. And as I said, he may be more inclined to keep playing now because he doesn't want to say in his first game for Fox, these guys suck. Why did I retire? I'm leaving. I'll see you next year, right? But whenever that comes, we'll say it's going to be a hell of a story. And in the interim, Fox is going to get a hell of a lot of free advertising as people speculate on what Tom Brady's going to be whenever he finally does go into the broadcast booth.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, to me, that's the other kind of intriguing aspect of this whole thing is just the other thing I thought about after you're kind of in the shock and all of it is just like, How long have they been in talks about this deal? I mean, again, connecting dots, reading the tea leaves, reading between the tea leaves, whatever you want to say. I mean, this must have been going on for quite a while. I got to think that Fox, this is why we never heard them get into deep, serious negotiations with Troy Aikman, that they knew that this was coming along at some point, I would guess. So, obviously Brady's had time to think about it, digest it a little bit, and really like realize and go, wait, is this something I want to do? Because I would think this has been, talked about for quite some time, at least 4 or 5 months. This is with this kind of deal, I would imagine.
I had a reader send me an email last night suggesting that this could make Sean McVay revisit his decision to stay with the Rams. But, the bottom line is they weren't going to give McVay $375 million for 10 years.
Nobody's
if Fox
getting
would have
that.
paid him that, or anybody was going to pay. Yeah, Brady's the only one who's getting that.
Right.
And the seats are now full. The seats are full. The only seat that isn't full is whoever's going to be the number one analyst at Fox until Tom Brady decides to retire from playing pro football. Is it going to be Greg Olson? Is it going to be somebody else? That's it. The temporary one spot at Fox is the only thing that's unknown, and it ain't paying $375 million or $37.5 million or anything close to that until Tom Brady shows up.
Would they put him
no
in the
spots now?
Yeah, right. Would they put him in the Super Bowl this year if they lost, like in the wild card round? It's
a good question.
I know. I really would be interested.
Many are asking.
Yeah.
Many are asking.
Right.
Fox had no comment yesterday. Ian Rappaport asked Fox, "Hey, if the Bucs are eliminated, will Brady be in the booth for the Super Bowl?" And I don't think you just barnstorm into the booth when you haven't done it all year.
Right.
But I can't imagine he won't be part of the 27 hours of game day coverage.
Right.
He'll be there somewhere.
Right.
But his deal doesn't start until he retires from the NFL, so they'd have to work out some other deal, and it probably isn't going to be cheap for Tom Brady. It's not, hey, Tom, we're paying you $375 million over 10 years. Will you do us a solid until the deal starts? Hell no. You want me to show up? You're paying me my daily rate. You want me for Super Bowl Sunday? Let's take $375 million divided by 10, divided by 22, and then I'll consider it. Here's the other side of it too, Chris.
Yeah.
Depending upon how they exit the 22 season, he may not want to be there.
Yeah,
he may not want to be involved.
Right.
They lose a heartbreaker in the NFC Championship. I don't really want to show up and talk about this. He's got a certain amount of self-awareness. You get him in the days and weeks after he's had his heart ripped out and shown to him by somebody else, and lost a game like that.
Hard, right.
Like this year. If you think he's going to show up to do commentary on Rams 49ers NFC Championship with Fox a week after the Rams beat him, I don't think, especially if you have designs on continuing to play, I don't think anything positive flows from that, and it would be hard for him to do. But that whenever they're done this year, Fox will still have games. If they don't make it to the NFC Championship, he could be involved in that game. They don't make it to the divisional round, he could be involved in that game.
I gotta think this is a little of an inkling too of just going like, this is it. This is the last year. I don't think you have this conversation unless you go, this is gonna be it. I don't think so. And again,
I'm not ready to sign on to that.
I hear you. I'm just talking. I know that. I never, but it's been 45 for a long time. That was one of the reasons I got back into the conversation of Brady's going to come back before he announced he's going to come back, if you remember, right? Because I had somebody connected to his camp there go, Chris, he said 45. Oh. I've never heard the guy not do what he's going to say he's going to do. So it'd be interesting to see. But you're right. I know we can never count him out for playing another year.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.